A few quick facts on LinkedIn. It's got 1.2 billion users, okay, and less than 2% post. You can be in the top 2% of creators, okay? If you can be a first adopter now, get on it before it starts to become like where all the cool kids are.
Y'all aren't ready for this episode. Today I have on Rachael Perry, who is a social media strategist that is going to blow your freaking mind. The way that she approaches social media is so refreshing, and it makes me actually want to put in like a lot of effort into social. I know, crazy coming from me. But without further ado, let's get into Rachel's episode.
Hi, my name is Rachael Perry, and I am a brand and social media strategist. I run a firm called Chateau Marigold, and I love helping amazing business owners tell their stories online and save them no less than 60 hours a month while I do it.
Yay. Okay, I'm excited because I want to talk about LinkedIn. And the reason I want to talk about LinkedIn is because I want to be yelled at about LinkedIn. Specifically, I've always kind of been like, I don't understand why creatives need to be on LinkedIn. And I think I'm starting to get it. And I fear it's taking me a long time. And so I want you to tell us all about why creative people actually need it and why, like, have you seen more like creators or creative like entrepreneurs on LinkedIn, or do you feel like that's fake news?
I do not think it is fake news. I think we're still in the phase of early adoption, to be honest, for creatives. I'm just going to say it, LinkedIn. Sorry, but it's crusty dusty over there. Okay. You're doing some things about it these days, but traditionally it's been seen as like a really crusty dusty platform. But aside from LinkedIn, I think the biggest reason why people should have an open mind to this, if you are a creative, is because it's not always about being famous. It's actually about having an inbound life, a life where offers are coming to you, opportunities are coming to you. And a lot of times creatives don't think about the whole team behind a hiring decision. Okay. So, yes, you might have somebody in influencer relations who is like, oh my God, Laura, I love your content. You're so amazing. But they don't have the juice, they don't have the leverage with the gatekeepers who hold the checks, who hold the money. If I'm in operations and I've never heard of Laura, she has no relevance to me. I'm just looking at it like any other thing. It's a bottom line. It's a line on an Excel sheet. So when you can take yourself and actually show up in the places where these influencer decision makers, like stakeholders are, you become a more hot lead. You become a more warm connection to them. And it's a lot easier to get sign off on the things that you're asking for, their money, their resources, their platform, and opportunities for yourself. And if you do that enough, then they start coming to you. And that's why you want to be where your clients are. And I think normally it's thinking about where your clients are didn't really have to involve a team with discernment behind them. I think gone are the days that we could just put up a chat GPT PDF, call ourselves an expert, and, be given notoriety, platform, a stage to be able to do that. People are actually showing up with a lot more discernment because we're in an age of information. It's forced everybody at the table to level up in their discernment. So show up where they are.
Whoa, I think that alone is like a mic drop moment, hearing that creators need to be reminded that the one person they're talking to on the marketing team is just the marketing gal and is not the one who actually is in charge of invoicing and contracts and any of
Yeah.
that.
And
So that
marketers are hype. Like, remember, we're creatives, we're marketers. So we get really hype on the idea, the concept. It sounds so fun. And we are known for being relational. Like, that's a huge, huge component of how we get business done, how we move in the world, how we network. But there's also this other side. And I honestly, you say it so, so well. I use it all the time to encourage myself to get out of my creative brain and stay in a business building lane. And it's like the boring stuff builds business. So there's people that are in that other side of the contract, the other side of the operations. And it's way more based on like facts, how you're showing up, the ROI that you're going to give. And it's a lot easier to explain that when they're like, oh, I know her content. Man, I actually really liked what she said the other day
Mhm.
about inbound living. That definitely gives you a leg up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You just like broke my brain. Yes. Okay. So we need to hang out where these people are. This makes sense. Okay. If you had to tell a creator or a business owner why they should get on LinkedIn, I want you to sell LinkedIn to people who live and die by Instagram and think that like that's basically their website.
Yeah. So TikTok 2024, 2025, it went away, right? That's the lesson. If you build on only one platform, it's entirely possible that your entire audience that you painstakingly built in the pockets of your day after working your 9 to 5, exhausted, masking yourself in whatever, job that you're in, and then having to dig up out of the trenches of your heart creativity after doing soul crushing work all day long. All of that could go away in an instant if someone else decides that the app should not exist. This is a borrowed space, it's a borrowed platform. So if you're going to be renting your visibility, then you need to rent in as many places as possible. This is a attention real estate game, okay? So that's why if you're listening to Laura, then I know you know about newsletters and her heart for newsletters and email and just how fucking smart it is. But this is also another play in that. If you can have real estate, have property, right, in the landscape of their attention in as many places as possible, it can help you win. Now, I want to make a caveat on that because I know a lot of creators or a lot of gurus are going to tell you, like, be everywhere, post everywhere, do everything. I really don't think that that's the greatest advice. Obviously, volume is a factor, okay? But you don't need a giant follower account. It's actually the largest vanity metric. I've been saying this forever, but Moseri just came out, the CEO of Instagram. He actually just did an AMA this past Friday and said, like, follower account is literally a non-metric at this point. Reach and engagement are the biggest things. So you want to have an engaged community, but you want to have that in a few places that make a lot of sense for your business. And I'll tell you why. It takes 27 touch points in 2026 for somebody to even consider you as an option. An option. Not like, yeah, I'm going to convert. I'm going to buy. Yes, that's amazing. I'm going to like sign me up for everything Laura does. It's like, you know what? Laura's pretty good at that. I might need that. I might need that 27 touch points. That's how noisy it is. So you want to help to reduce that noise. A few quick facts on LinkedIn. It's got 1.2 billion users, okay, and less than 2% post. You can be in the top 2% of creators, okay, if you post twice a week. Twice a week. And then if you want to optimize your profile, okay, which I can help you with, and if you want to post twice a week, you're in the top 1% of all creators on LinkedIn. Okay. And then if you want to be in the top fraction of creators on LinkedIn, taking up some of the most valuable real estate with people who have a lot of money, who are ready to buy, leads that are excited about big projects, right? There's a lot of that there. You're in the top fraction if you do everything I said and post 3 times a week and then take time to create like a sales engine out of that, right? Making connections. There's all kinds of different strategies in there, but basically you should know there's incredibly low hanging fruit because a lot of people on LinkedIn are posting a picture of a lion and saying leaders are leaders who lead. You're going to really fucking stand out if you go over to LinkedIn, bring some personality, bring your expertise. Okay. And there's some specific tactics on how you can make your content work over there. But think about that. You could be in the top 2% of all creators just posting twice a week.
Wow. Okay, I'm pausing here because I think I need you guys to hear that again. No one is posting on LinkedIn. So this is prime real estate, a prime time to get in front of an audience that doesn't know you exist yet. Only 2% of people. You could be a top 2% creator on LinkedIn by posting 3 times a week with your profile optimized, and Rachel's going to tell us how to freaking do that. I don't want you to take this as like, oh, just another thing to do, but I want you to go through your top posts, go through the posts that talk the most about what you are and who you do, and use that information to create these posts on LinkedIn. I think that you should just post this show. I think that you should just take over. Wow, you said so many things that I would have said. That's amazing, but better. I love the idea because like even when people who are like a real estate mogul, they have like all the different properties. And I agree, we don't buy properties in a bunch of places or in every place because that's problematic and crazy. And so we buy them in places that make sense and places that are profitable and easy. And it's like, okay, literally the same thing applies to your content. I'm so confused. Wow. Okay. I love that so much. And it's actually so insane how easy it can be to be a LinkedIn superstar. Oh, wow. I just posted on LinkedIn yesterday, actually, and it's a Monday. So I'm like, okay, I have one more post to go this week. And it's just crazy how easy it can be to become noticed and like engage with that. Do you feel like the engaging piece is probably as important, if not more, than just the posting part?
That's actually a really good question. I think that again, it's really low hanging fruit. So if there's somebody, there's probably a beginner and an intermediate and advanced. My friend Bronson, for example, is a self taught photographer. We had the conversation about LinkedIn, I want to say 3 years ago now. We had that conversation. And he was like shocked because he does work with like Cody Rigsby. He just did BravoCon. He does like big stuff, Netflix. Okay. He's doing big campaigns. And he just started posting his work, like another one with Condé Nast, another one with Bravo. And now it's actually a huge lead generator for him just because he's showing people what he's doing. And again, it's editors, it's tastemakers, it's operational gatekeepers who are noticing that. And it gives them credibility when they can say, you know, I actually saw so and so. They might be interested. They did BravoCon. What if we got him? What if we figured out our rates? Like right now, it's doing them a favor. Like him coming in with his expertise is actually now them being able to go into meetings more prepared, right? They're more likely to advocate for you if it's their idea.
Mhm.
And he's just gotten that. He's not done anything of like, I want to build a personality or I want to build a brand or I want to be an authority over there. But he's just showing people what he's doing and it's generating revenue.
Okay. I think I'm blowing this all out of proportion. I'm like, it's really not that deep. Just go post what you do on
You
LinkedIn.
can go
It,
post what you do. If you want to go a layer deeper, then you would want to go and make as many connections as you can, not follows, connections. Okay. Because if you follow somebody, then you only see their content. If you connect with them, then it goes both ways. So that terminology, connect or follow, is really important on LinkedIn. And then if you are engaging and hopping into conversations with people, I think it's a really good thing because people take it so seriously over there, especially if it's not generic. You know, again, a lot of people are like, I love leadership, or they use it as a moment to talk about how they lead with their teams and when I do it this way. And it's a little bit self serving and self indulgent.
Mhm.
If you can actually say, Laura, I listened to your last episode on talking about how old content that I have is a huge way that I'm leaving money on the table. And that layer one is starting with affiliate links. I went around my house and made a list of all the things that I use. And wow, I came away with 15 different brands that I'm going to reach out to this week. Thank you so much for that episode. Like, you know that I put the 10 minutes in to listen to that episode. You know that I value your content. And if I come back and tell you I got 5 leads or I got, 3 deals off of that, like, I'm not just some random follower to you. It's like, hey, she respects me. She used my advice. Now we're on a totally different footing. And that opportunity over there is massive because again, there's a lot of AI slop over there. There's a lot of weird live, laugh, love graphics over there. Sorry, true. So it's very easy for somebody who actually wants to be relational, who's actually providing value to create relationships because people really want that over there.
Mm, that's true. Poor LinkedIn. It's like the forgotten younger sibling. I
She's
get it.
getting there though, because they are doing some very interesting collabs where they're hiring like major influencers to come and take over as their CEO. They're doing some really cool things to bring themselves more current. So if you can be a first adopter now, get on it before it starts to become like where all the cool kids are. Like do it
Yeah.
now.
Okay, cool. Got it. I've heard you talk about this before, and I think it's something we don't talk about enough. And so I want to give you a chance to yell at us about what taste making is or like why that's so important in the content creation space.
I think in the age of AI, again, there's awesome uses for AI. I am not anti AI. I think use it to reduce limit repetitive thinking, use it to help streamline the work, the operations and systems that you have behind the scenes. But from a creative standpoint, bringing a humanity to that is always going to stand out because it's delivering something that only you can do, you know, and only you can bring that into the room and share that with the world. So when we pause and have a moment of critical thinking, when we can share our perspective on something, again, we live in an era of information, but what we lack is discernment. What we lack is a POV and a perspective, right? And so when you stand out by sharing your heart, your perspectives, the critical thinking behind a process, the how of what you do, it starts to do something and have color. It's almost like looking at something in 2D versus a 3D moment. You can have a 3D moment in the real estate of people's minds, attention, opportunities, because you're choosing to put in the work and the effort, you know? And what AI has done, because now everyone's adopted it and we can spot it now from a mile away. Trust me, your followers, your audience, they know when you slap up a newsletter or an email or a caption written by AI. If you don't take the time to use AI as your scaffolding and then bring your voice, your personality to that, right? Uh, People can spot it from a mile away. So now what it's done is it's actually made copy, creative, it's made all of us way more valuable. Like now you can actually say, this is what I'm bringing to the table. Sure, if you want to have the same content, in my case, as everybody else, right? Do that. Yeah, make those AI carousels. Enjoy. Yeah, have a good time with it. If you want something that's branded and going to speak to your voice, and every single time you post and you work with me at Chateau Marigold, the average of my clients' content is 40% engagement. If you want that, come to me. But yeah, if
Wow.
Claude works for you right now, if Chitty Chatty GPT works for you right now, like there's no shame, no shade. Like everybody has to start somewhere. And equally at the same time, if you want an expert to support you in your holistic goals, right? And in your voice and generate this result, then this is where you go.
Wow. 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 I can't wait for you to have a podcast.
Marie and I are working on
I
that. Love
can't
you, Marie.
wait. Okay. Back on my LinkedIn bullshit. So
Love it.
what do you see when
Love.
you log onto LinkedIn and you're like, that was a fire post from so and so business owner, from so and so entrepreneur, whatever. What do you feel like makes a good post? I feel like it's a lot of everything we've just talked about. You have to have some sort of humanity and taste. But is there anything that you're like, this story was good? Or what is working for these business owners?
Yes. Okay, so there's tactical stuff. Like for example, LinkedIn works great when you have like a personal photo, personal image of you works really, really nicely. Do take the time, okay, to make an actual carousel. Okay. If you're gonna post a carousel
Oh.
and you just fucking throw that thing into post and it turns into a tile wall of like 6 images, please stop the insanity. Okay. Save it in Canva or wherever you edit as a PDF and upload it as a document and it will scroll.
Shut
Okay?
up.
No, go the extra mile, baby. Go the extra mile. Just save that thing as a PDF. I I will scroll. If I see a tile of stuff, I'm like, "Sorry, can't be
It's
bothered
not
to
for
figure
me.
out which one's number 1 and which one's number 6. Like, get out of
Holy
here.
shit.
Who has
Wait,
time for
that's
that?"
crazy.
Yeah, so save it as a PDF and it will scroll beautifully, okay? So there's, like, tactical things like that. Also, never post giant paragraphs. I mean, you can, but nice line breaks just help people feel like it's attainable, and I think also it's because in corporate, like, line breaks are, like, a big deal in corporate email writing and stuff. So just match that, it will help them. So there's all that. I think the other thing is don't be afraid to have a POV. Everybody's like tiptoeing over there. Everybody wants to be palatable, and really you're gonna
Mm.
stand out by, again, having a specific POV and not being afraid to, like, horrify the wrong, like, client, you know? You wanna
Okay,
draw
I'm
in.
so glad you say that because I have a lot of really unhinged things I wanna say, but I feel weird about saying it on LinkedIn, but okay, thank you. You've just affirmed.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think you have to go in and do anything that's, like, against your personality and try to, like, bring the, like, crazy element, it's not a toga party, okay? I guess it could be if you want it to be. But, have a point of view. Like I just said, I will not be reading your carousel if I'm duck, duck, goose hunting for which is number 2 in your slides. Like, that's not gonna happen. So, I can say that on LinkedIn. So you can say stuff like that. You can say, you know, "Live, laugh, love," like, your quote it's not gonna work. That's not gonna be the thing that builds your brand. Don't be afraid to say and stand in your authority and know what's working, and you don't always have to be agreeable. I think also being in charge of your feed works over there. A lot of people are like, "I don't wanna post." Myself included, I used to be like that. "I don't wanna post, I have a lot of people over there that knew me from my other life," and all the things. You are responsible for your feed. Block, delete, move on. Okay? And go after and connect with, not in a transactional, like, weird way, but, like, go and actively, intentionally seek out the people that you wanna build a new community with. I just think the not excuse, because I understand the vulnerability wound behind it. Equally, at the same time, take the time to just be in action. Get on a call with another friend and you'll do it together. It feels so much more empowering. But yeah, block, let go, move on.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay. It's like, why is it so hard to break up with our corporate exes
It's
instead of real
really hard. I mean, my corporate career, what? It's like I have over 20 years experience as a retail leader. I worked my way up from I grew up extremely very, very poor from a broken home. Like the fact that I am here today, or even when I was in corporate, like traveling on planes, trains, and automobiles, helping teams build the infrastructure to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in one day, right? For Christmas seasons and stuff like that. I mean, that's a huge part of my life, and it was a long kiss goodbye. So I get it. I'm
Yeah.
not here telling you that. But eventually,
Yeah.
do take the plunge because what's on the other side is absolutely fucking incredible.
Yes, okay. On that similar note, but on the other side, are there other things you see on LinkedIn that you're like, "Why? Why are you doing that? If you just did this instead, this would go so much better for you." Are there any big mistakes you see, business owners, creatives doing in that space? And also, side note, if you're like, "We just talked about all those things," we can move on.
No, I love this question because I think if you show up treating it like an afterthought, it looks like an afterthought, it's not as strong. For example, I know people that have bitchin' brands on Instagram, absolutely, like, compelling, on fire, make you wanna work with them. You go to their website and it is stunning, and then they just, like, slapped up some AI slop in the profile and they're like, "Good enough. I don't even wanna be here." And you
Mm,
can tell it doesn't feel, like, welcoming, inviting, it doesn't have that same electricity. So I think the biggest mistake that people do is treat it like an afterthought. If you're a creative, go on there and actually put some branded copy, okay? Put some branded photos up of you. It does not have to be a crazy, like, Stepford wife profile picture where everyone's just, like, smiling with empty eyes. behind a background they made with
Mhm,
multicolors. Just
mhm.
stop. Do you own the real estate? Put your branding in place and actually like work with copy that sounds like you. Stop just auto importing from ChatGPT and then running out of your LinkedIn because you feel the ick. The second thing is optimize your profile and make sure you have links in there. So even videos, links to your website. You can also do links to your resources that you have there, links to your email newsletter. Just don't leave it to chance. And I would say, like, make sure that you are putting videos on your captions. A lot of people are escaping the corporate meeting and walking down the hallway pretending they're checking email, and they really just wanna scroll for a minute mindlessly, on the way to the bathroom. Put captions in your stuff. I think it's kind of rude to assume that everybody is gonna be able to watch your stuff on full volume with headphones in. So I think those are the big ones for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's talk about how we're going to optimize our profiles. What the heck do we need to do to revive our LinkedIn? And then my other question I wrote down, what should we post now? We're like ready to move over there. So anyway, we'll start with the profile. What should we do?
Yeah. I would think of this as your digital resume. Like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's my digital resume, list everything out." You wanna actually create some conversation with what you're doing. So, I think just be really direct. People on LinkedIn are browsing, but they're always like when they're ready to buy, they wanna go and they wanna go quickly. So tell people what you do. It doesn't have to be all clever and cheeky. A lot of people wanna do like something clever. So you can still be clever, but really, really be clear. What do you do? Who do you help? How do you do it? What's the ROI? Boom. Make sure that that's in your bio. I would have your about and endorsement sections. Get people that to endorse you for the new thing that you're doing, especially if you're converting your LinkedIn, right? Go into your community, drop a link of your LinkedIn and ask people to endorse you. Like, go and specifically seek those out, especially if you have made a career pivot. For example, I was an operator in retail and sales manager, right, on a regional level. And I did a lot of social media, but do people actually know that I can do content creation, videography, editing, all of that, right? And then, I think make sure that if you do wanna have a company page, you can do that, but you will generate so much more attraction to your brand, leads, communication, partnership by having a actual personal page, like a page that is personally branded to you. So if you wanted to
Mm.
do a travel content writers page, you should have that. By the way, please, this is another one. Please, if you have a business and you're putting it on your LinkedIn, okay, and you have that stupid icon with the pixely buildings on it instead of your branded company logo, please, dear God, create a business page. It's not difficult, and then it will auto populate your stunning, beautiful brand in that block. I just feel like it's like, ugh, people are like, that's not a real business. Even though it's a huge thing, but it's like, just please, please, please optimize your profile by doing that. But if I was gonna post, like, which one am I gonna prioritize posting right away? I would always do the personal one. That is what I would do to optimize your page.
Okay, great. So we're gonna go and we're gonna post about like what I did is I made a post and I was like, this is what I do, this is how I do it, this is who I do it for. And then I made that like a featured post. And now I'm
Mhm.
kind of I think my sort of strategy is I'm gonna do a few more posts that are kind of about like what I do with actual clients and like those results. And then I start mixing in the sort of content that comes from like the podcast or like education pieces like that. Like, I don't really want to educate people on LinkedIn necessarily, but like you've said before, oh, I read this amazing article from so and so. Here are my thoughts on it. Or here is what I just shared in my latest podcast episode. Here's why. So like that's kind of my strategy in terms of posting. And then I have like my goal as well as to make it like an inbound machine for me. And
Yeah.
so I'm trying to seek out actual ideal aligned potential clients to make connections with, like engage with their stuff and then connect with them. What are your thoughts on this strategy? How would you roast my LinkedIn strategy? If you're listening right now and you are working or you are in a place where you have easy access to LinkedIn, Rachel's about to roast my entire profile, and I want you to use this episode to also clean up your LinkedIn profile right now as she roasts mine. So she's going to roast like a section of it, and then I want you to pause the episode and make the change yourself and then keep going. And by the end of this episode, your profile could literally be optimized and you could go over to your other platforms and use that content to create your first LinkedIn posts.
Can you drop the link to your LinkedIn? Oh, page not found. Not good.
Oh, cool. All right. I'm going to search you too.
There she is.
You are.
I can't believe you're a third connection.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, let me connect with you.
I'm connecting with you right now.
I'm going to send it without a note because we're on the
Same.
podcast together.
I'm so nervous. I didn't prepare for
No,
this.
don't be nervous. I turn travel. This is great. Okay, so yeah, you're telling us what you do. And I know some people are like, the I help statement is dead. But yeah, I turn travel influencers into business owners. That's fantastic. Content strategist, podcast hope, and professional unsexy systems enthusiast. Okay, I like it. I would maybe unsexy systems. I know that works really well for Instagram, but I'd probably just say more directly. You know what I mean? There's a lot more people that don't just get it.
Okay,
So
cool. Thank you for telling
professional
me that.
systems enthusiast is like, boom. Oh, she's going to do systems. She's going to help me. She's going to, oh, that's great. You know, you're about, I would make that a little juicier. It's
Oh, I
a
forgot about
nice
that section.
little one liner, which is really great. But I would maybe go into like how you do it and what you
Yeah, this
do
is
and your
old.
community that you
Okay.
host. Well, hold on. Let me look at your profile. Okay. Yeah. I would totally. Oh, you did it. You have the beautiful logo of travel content writing. Love. You've already nailed it. Okay. So I think your profile overall is great. Yeah. I would maybe beef up business owner at travel content writing. And
Okay,
maybe
yeah.
I would not say business owner. I'd probably say something like that
Yeah, what do we
you're
do?
yeah, you're a CEO founder or you're the like, are you the creative director? Are you the community manager? Like I would definitely make your title spell out a little bit more what you do. And then I would put in a couple of small little bullet points of like what you do and how you do it. So
Okay,
like the
cool.
services that you offer, just like a little window, but I would only do it on that first
Mm.
one. Okay. And then on your posts, okay, so I love this one. Best business advice I got from the beach. Love that you're using line breaks. It's really long. The little French bread as points because you were in France. Lovely. I would make sure one of these pictures is you, your face, you like the
Okay.
first picture that I see is like a view outside the window. It's a little bit dark. I would make sure like the first post is you and I would post this as a carousel instead of a dump so
Okay,
that
this is so
you
fun.
show up first and you can be like, and then they get the vibe of the trip, and maybe you
Okay.
could even do like hosted a mastermind in France, you know, on the
Yeah.
cover of that photo with you looking so cute. And then people are like, she's in France, she's hosting masterminds. FOMO works really well on LinkedIn. They're
Okay,
used to
great.
FOMO on Instagram.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. I turn most travel creators second post. Love this one. This is a great one. You're sitting there, it is you, and you're talking about what you do. I think your
Yeah,
second
this was
post,
like my LinkedIn I'm back sort of post.
yeah. I would not be afraid as well to like do some video. You could
Okay.
do really cute B-roll. Like for example, if you set up your phone and it shows you talking and doing this, you could be like, you know, hosting my podcast or something cute and then do your whole post on the bottom below of what that is. So like sometimes not you showing the finished product, but you documenting you doing the work also works really nicely on LinkedIn. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
interesting.
'Cause they
Yeah.
get to see
People
you
are
in
just
doing whatever
nosy.
it is.
Okay.
Yeah, people are nosy. People are nosy, they
Okay,
wanna
cool.
have FOMO. Yeah, those are things I would do, but I would just keep posting for sure. I love that you're doing long form. Yeah, and I would just sharpen up a CTA, babe. You're drop a comment, DM, love to hear what you're building. Yeah, keep
Okay.
your CTAs coming, but I think invite them on the journey. Like, "Hey, if you love this, share it with someone who needs it, and don't forget to sign up for my newsletter so we can yip yap or whatever."
Yeah, I should probably do that. Okay,
Mhm.
that was
Yeah,
really wonderful. You should start charging people to roast their LinkedIn.
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I've definitely been hearing that people need it. So what I do is I have a service called the Social Weather Report, and in that one, I basically take all of your metrics. It says social weather report, but I will do it from your podcast, your email, your newsletter, and all of your social channels all in one spot. And then I will give you your metrics, what's working, what's not, and then your recommended paths. Okay. So then you will have a really clear picture. For example, I had a client who recently kind of exploded in her visibility and started having to manage multiple Instagram accounts, like brands within a brand kind of thing. And she was really killing herself to post 3 times a day on
What?
threads, but getting just threads, not her Instagram, not anywhere else, just threads. And in addition to everything else that they're doing. And we found that there were 0 clients that were coming from that. All the lead gen was coming from her Instagram. And then she also has an insane top global in the world percent open rate. Her open rate is like 75%. Okay.
What?
And people respond to her. But when I went through like her last 10, 15 emails, there were multiple CTAs to stuff and nothing that really like linked to her main offers. So I was able to advise her like, hey, let's ratchet down your thread strategy. Let's still be there, right? Like, here's how we're going to automate some really awesome stuff. And then if you feel you have extra time and your thumbs really want to move over there, like go post away. But in terms of like mandatory visibility, let's put that on a little bit more of an automated thing. Let's clean up your email and tighten up your CTAs so it's a converter for you and not just like this beautiful nurture. And then here's where we're going to double down on Instagram because this is where you're getting all of your coins, right? So
Mhm.
now you're approaching your whole editorial strategy with a lot more energy and capacity rather than feeling like it's like volume, volume, volume everywhere and it's not sustainable for your life. Um, that's a huge important component. I think a lot of people think what I do or and hopefully what your social media manager is doing, but I look at your life and your current season of your business and where you're at and we have to make a plan that is sustainable for you, most especially if you're not in a place where you fully want to invest in offboarding your social. It has to make sense for your life and it has to make sense for your capacity and it's got to have an ROI. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Wow, okay. Have an Instagram question. Oh, content
Yes.
question overall. Is there anything you're seeing, anything like exciting and new that you want to do on Instagram? And I don't mean like, oh my gosh, the platform added this feature. Like, I don't really care that much. I am wondering if
Always
you
gonna
have
add the
any.
feature.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what features are there, but anything like you're like excited to do a new thing. Like for example, one new thing that I'm trying to implement, and this is from I'm stealing this from Melissa Moorhead with her permission because we're doing it together, is a like story collab. I like picked a date on her calendar and we decided
Mhm.
on one topic we're going to talk about. And then we yap about it and we tag each other in our stories and we repost. And I'm like, genius, because just so good for so many reasons. And I was like, wow, let's see how this goes. Maybe I want to do this with other people. So, is there anything you want to do or use on Instagram or want business owners to do on Instagram that you feel like could be so beneficial?
This is a very good question. I
Yeah,
do
I'm
love
sorry.
what you and Alyssa are doing because it's gonna be so dope. The 2 of you are the best yappers in the world, especially yelling at people about, like, your content should be moving the needle, people, you should be making a living. So I can't wait to be yelled at in my stories. I also love this strategy too because lives are awesome and I think people should still do them. But I do think that stories are cool because people can watch them at their leisure, you know, and they can get into it and they know they have a set amount of time to watch it. So it's like there's a little urgency on consumption. And also, like, they're going to want to see the 2 of you together. It's rare. So I really love that you guys are doing that. In terms of something that I think I would love to try out, I have really been thinking about live social shopping because it has been a huge hot topic. I'm also like from Texas. I don't know, QVC, I just feel like always was on when I was younger.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I'm thinking a lot about live social shopping. The challenging part for some people is they might not want to yap like that. I love yapping like that. I have a lot of friends who are like Amazon influencers and stuff. They do it on there. I don't think that I would want to necessarily do it for product. Like, buy this dress. It's so cute. But I think if there was an interesting way to sell your own product or to talk to people about it, you're yapping, you maybe have a couple of other people on. I think it would be interesting to host like live webinars on the platform only, you know what I'm saying? And then be
Yeah.
able to sell it, like, other people can join. I think there's a lot of, like right now with, like, masterclass selling, it's a lot about, like, the private container, and it's only for you, and it will not be recorded even though someone's recording it anyway, because we wanna make sure that we capture all the data, but it won't be recorded, it won't be available to you, and I think there's just something cool. Live social shopping is really huge in China, it's been that way for, like, I don't know, 10 years. It's definitely coming here. People on TikTok shop making a ton of money. But Instagram, I don't really see people doing it. And I think there's a lot to be said for like a live social shopping moment. I know the network marketing girlies are like selling in their stories, but I think first adapters who can figure out live social shopping, it will be very interesting to see the leg up that they have.
Yeah.
It's also just great on camera performance, right? Like
Yeah.
that skill. So, yeah.
Where LinkedIn is right now is a really awesome opportunity to do something that not a lot of other people are doing right now. You could be the first of your niche in the travel creation industry to show up on LinkedIn. How freaking cool is that? And you could do that right now while you're listening to this episode. Wow. I think it would be cool if, yeah, like what if you sold services on
Mhm,
live shopping?
mhm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, I could show a social weather report, for example, what it is, results that we've gotten, how to talk about it. If you want it, there is, a limited window. If you drop, you know, whatever word, right? In the chat right now, my team is going to send you the link and you can purchase it. We will get it out to you by this date. Like maybe I do it for them super, super fast, like not shoddy, but like I would get it to you within, the next 2 weeks. Like you will have your whole layout. And if you want, you can also upgrade to get right, like your content strategy. And the content strategy is awesome. It tells you like your signature voice, what has worked in your content, all of your like offer ladder, like everything. It just really ties it all in so your content links up to your goals. But yeah, you could talk about that online, do live social shopping. I think it's like a little bit of a missed opportunity?
Whoa. Okay. This is blowing my mind. I'm like, I want you to try this. I want someone to try this and see what happens because that's fascinating. Because I
Yeah.
just don't think, at least me, I'm not like primed to watch a live unless, there's like the build up, the hype, I know what's coming. And especially if it's like that masterclass, like where I know what I'm gonna be learning. I'm not just like watching someone, yeah. Like I'm not like watching a live podcast episode or something. Yeah. Oh
Yeah, I
wow.
think people underutilize live a lot because they go on it ad hoc like stories, which by the way has its place. I'm not telling you not to do that. But, I think they go on and then they're mad that two people watched and then one person had to hop off. And then they are uncomfortable yapping for the next like 10 minutes and closing it out beautifully. And then they're like, ugh, I never want to do that again. And it's like, well, you didn't tell anybody you were going. It's like online dating. Like you can't show up to the restaurant and like hope that somebody is going to just like, you know what I mean? Be
There.
there
Yeah.
ready.
Whoa. Okay, 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 wait. If you wanted, we could put in the show notes, like who's listening to this and wants an audit, this beautiful weather forecast of their social world. You can get in touch with Rachel and drop her info, and you will get your account roasted. And then if you want, she can put together an amazing game plan for you on what to do moving forward with that information. Okay. I don't want to let you go too far without telling us where people can find you and connect with you and look at your beautiful graphics that are and posts that are so amazing. It's like pretty annoying.
Thank you. I love being annoying in the best way. You can follow me personally at It's Rachel Perry. It's literally at It's Rachel Perry, but my name is spelled Rachael. And then my company's Instagram is Chateau Marigold. So come find us. Website loading soon, which I'm so excited about. And I can't wait to see you guys on the flip side.
Okay, is anyone else's mind blown? After having this conversation with Rachel, I feel like LinkedIn is not a big scary beast that it once was for me, and I feel so much better about it. So if you feel that way too, I need you to head over to Chateau Marigold on Instagram and just look at what Rachel is doing over there, and then I want you to go see what she's doing on LinkedIn. I'm going to have her personal LinkedIn in the show notes for you so you can see an example from someone who is crushing the game and getting big fish clients from the platform. Thank you so much to Rachel for joining us. Please make sure you connect with her, and also she's going to be coming on for more future episodes, so hope you love her because she'll be back. Okay, friends, happy creating. Go post on LinkedIn. Talk to you later.
This podcast was produced by Your Girl Media.